else is editing it in iMovie or whatever. Switch does it, which is the thing. And putting it up. And they've had to buy more storage a couple times. Is one of the reasons I asked. But one of the problems is running the system and how it goes up and how it works with YouTube and some of these other things.
Yep.
Because sometimes they'll edit something and put it up there and it doesn't show up, or it shows up with some. Okay, they've been getting lots of hits and it's been increasing all the time. But the other day, they had something come up, some erroneous, what looked like skull and crossbones, maybe not really skull and crossbones, but the idea that saying that something's wrong, whatever. So anybody that went there, I guess, got to see it because it was like no hits for 2 weeks. Anyway, and then that went away. But when they were trying to upload things, they were getting the same thing. And it was saying there was something wrong with the software, but it didn't.
Yeah, one of the problems, especially with streaming video, is that video is especially huge. And CIDER has been using Ustream for a while, and they used to give you 10 gigs of free space, and that's one of the reasons we started with Ustream. They have since changed that, so now you only get 30 days of free space. Anything older than 30 days is deleted. So I have started looking into YouTube, and so right now I'm actually simul-streaming on Ustream and YouTube. I don't like the YouTube interface. You see your screen backwards because the person at the other end is on the other side of that screen seeing it forwards. Right. It's just a little frustrating. So when I look at that screen, it's backwards to me.
They're showing you what
yeah, they're showing you what the other person.
Computer is seeing.
Right. Because the other person is looking at the other side of the screen. Yeah. Well, the other end sees it forwards. You see it back. So part of it is you hardly ever. In fact, I should have my iPad out. You hardly ever look at what you are streaming because you're doing the supposed to be maintaining the stream and making sure everything is working at that end. But we pretty much do everything ourselves here. And I've been to make sure with Ustream that the stream is working. Do we have any? No one is watching live yet. So sometimes the people who come to the meetings still want to be able to watch. And so we do the audio and the video. And it's nice to be able to have this running for people that can't be here now. And we'll see if we're running. So if someone wants to go to Ustream on their device, they can watch the video. You can also go to YouTube and find our channel and watch the video. So that's working okay. I'm gonna make sure it's running for people that can't be here now. So we can have an echo of an echo of an echo as soon as it starts catching up. So if someone wants to go to Ustream on their device, they can. In both cases, the problem, well, we're using free services, and so the quality is only as good as your camera. On Ustream, you have to pay to go to high quality. And that is upwards of $500 a month. Which, for a business, is not a lot of money, and it is significantly cheaper than live video streaming used to cost. It used to be millions of dollars to put together live video streaming. So the pro plans, $99 a month, and you get 100 ad-free viewer hours. So the other thing with Ustream is that they insert commercials in offset for you getting free service. Actually, from what we've seen, the commercial sits on top of the live stream, and so a 2-minute commercial, you miss 2 minutes of the show. So you can pay more. So for $500 a month, you get 2,000 ad-free hours. So that means 2,000 people can watch 1 hour. Or you can pay more for $1,000 a month, you get 5,000 ad-free hours. So a lot of people aren't liking the ad-supported plans.
Well, one of the problems that I run into is I'll be using this guy's iPhone. We're filming something, and I'm watching the detail that he's doing while he's drawing or painting, and I maybe hand with him or something, and all of a sudden I got a commercial across 20-30% of the screen.
Yeah.
And how I can't watch what I'm doing because it's coming in on my camera.
Right. So you need to pay for the service with no commercials. YouTube, I just started doing it this week, so I don't know what their commercial policy is. You can, one of the things that Google does do on YouTube is you can turn on ads. And when an ad plays on your stream, you get money, which is handy. But I haven't looked into it deep enough to see if you don't turn on ads, are there no ads, period. And I kind of think that's true. So you might want to look into YouTube for streaming. Now we, CIDER, as a nonprofit organization, we have a free YouTube streaming account.
Well, these people are using YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Google ads that were coming across the camera.
They may have turned on ads then.
Yeah, probably.
So they could turn off ads. I think I saw that somewhere in the create. So it's the YouTube Creator Studio. Branding.
So YouTube and Google are tied together.
Yeah, Google owns YouTube. So there is so I can enable paid content. I can enable ad. So enable monetization, so I get money for ads that are displayed. But I haven't seen enough if there's ads are displayed during the broadcast. I didn't notice it, but I wasn't monitoring the broadcast the whole Wednesday meeting. And you're using the YouTube app on the iPhone?
See, I do the camera work.
Yeah.
And somebody else does the computer. And up until now, I didn't have a modern enough computer to even understand it. So they're doing the editing, putting it up, and we actually have another person who's applied for doing that and things like that. So I'm not that part of it.
But what app are you using to do the recording with that you saw the ad in?
The camera video.
Just the regular Apple camera app?
Apple camera video on the iPhones.
There are no ads at all in that program. So if you saw an ad, you weren't using the Apple program.
Yeah, and it only popped up for 20, 30 seconds. And
Makes me think you're using the YouTube app, not the Apple app.
You know, they may be using. I don't know what the app is in the camera. I know that I go to the Apple camera.
Oh, sign in, please. Yep. On the end of the task.
Oh, the Apple camera app and move it to video. That's what I do, and I know, and I looked it up because I needed to know how to set the exposure to stay exposed at a certain exposure.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked that up in IMAX somewhere. That's as much as I know. I don't know what all the different apps are.
So yeah, so whatever app they're having you use, it must show those ads. So they're probably using a free service which throws ads in. One of the companies I work with, well, is a church, and there are several websites that are designed for churches. So you probably have to be a church in order to get this service. It's relatively inexpensive for live streaming. $50 a month, and they give you 100 gigs of storage, which is pretty decent. But they, well, I wonder if, now that I think about it, if this company, they have a commercial side that does non-churches. But, you know, so finding a live streaming company, several of them have just been purchased lately. Justin TV got purchased. Yeah. So Ustream has been one that has been very popular. Actually, This Week in Tech Network, they partner with several different streaming services. Let me see what all they have listed here. BitGravity, that's the other one that I remember them using. So it's probably whatever streaming service they're using. They're using a free service or a low-cost service, so it throws ads in to help pay for that free service. So it's usually a matter of buying the next tier up to either get less ads or no ads at all. Now, they said at Twit once that their internet streaming bill is $20,000 to $30,000 a month, just for their internet bill, because they high def 4K video 24 hours a day. And he said the other day his rent is $40,000 a month, and because they rent the building they're in. Renting an office space just seems so terrible to me, because it's money. You have to earn that much money just to pay for the place you're at before you ever make a profit. It just seems weird. But yeah, so streaming used to be, actually, what was that other one? Streaming used to be a big expensive thing. And now it's getting to be much cheaper. In fact, there's a new service, Meerkat just came out. So Meerkat is live video streaming from your device, and it uses Twitter as the broadcast medium. So when you start streaming, it tweets on your Twitter channel that you're streaming, and people comment by tweeting back. Now, this is no storage. It's live video, and once it plays, it's gone. So that's how they're getting around the storage issue, that there is no storage. It's just live streaming. But again, this used to be, you know, many multi-$1,000 equipment to do live video streaming, and now it's a free on your device. So that was a big thing at South by Southwest a few weeks ago. I guess they call it Meerkat because they pop up out of the ground all the time. Let me see, best video streaming service. Now, I use a streaming program, not a streaming program, a video program called CamTwist. And this is a free video effects program. And so once you're in picture, so I have two cameras running. I've got one camera pointed at the screen, and I'm using the other camera pointing at the speaker. In fact, at Wednesday night, I had the camera pointed at June, and when I did my presentation, I forgot to switch to the camera pointed at me. So the inset camera was pointing at nothing my whole presentation, because I'm doing everything myself. So this is a free program that does interesting effects that you can build onto your video. There is also a really good program called Wirecast. Is it Wirecast? No, that's yeah. Yep, that's right. Telestream bought them recently. So Wirecast is a multi-camera editing streaming platform. So it can take multiple live feeds, it can do overlays, and then it can send out a video stream that you then send to your streaming service. So from Wirecast, you would send it to YouTube, or you would send it to some games. So that's what I do here in Ustream. So my video source is CamTwist. I'm not sending it. I'm not pulling video from a camera. So CamTwist tells the computer it is a camera. So I've got a clock overlay. I've got the main screen. I've got the inset screen, and that's all handled by the CamTwist software, which is free, which is one of the main reasons I buy it or I use it. Wirecast is a $500 initial purchase, and it's more of a professional level if you're running multiple, especially multiple HD cameras. All right, that's a lot on streaming. Any other questions?
Follow through on what we talked about Wednesday, trying to take an Excel spreadsheet, 7 pages, and insert it into a Word document. And I still keep trying all kinds of configurations, and I get stuff on one setup, just do it, but it's only the first page of the setup. Save this, download, and yet I cannot upload that into the Word document.
Well, why do you want to put why do you want to put a 7-page Excel document into a Word document?
Well, because this is a prospectus project that includes demographic data.
You probably have to do it 1 page at a time.
Well, I don't remember if I've done that 1 page.
Copy and paste should work with 1 page.
It loses the format. And I stumbled on something that said I could import it. It looked very promising until it finally said that Word cannot read this.
Well, let me get Word and Excel open and let's try. Yeah, that paste special is usually where you remove the formatting.
It often does not even pop up with that phrase. I did a couple of times. I'm not sure how that.
I know there's an insert menu. So Word and Excel are designed to work together. So you're supposed to be able to put a live spreadsheet in your Word file. So if you go back and change something in Excel, it automatically changes in the Word file. Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can get into Office here. It's updating my font menu because I haven't run Office in a while. But let's see. Multi-page Excel. So let's Google Word, insert multi-page Excel file. So here's an answer from Microsoft. That's always good. Yeah, so you can't span more than 1 Word page. So you have to bring it in as multiple pages. Yeah, more than, well, if your 7 Excel pages fits on 1 Word page, you could do that. But you can't span multiple Word pages.
Okay. Oh.
So it has to come in as multiple pages, multiple Word pages. So whatever you fit on 1 page in Word is all you can do on 1 page. So you'll have to save a page at a time, or copy and paste a page at a time. But you said you lose the formatting, which it shouldn't. Make a new document. I don't know if we even have any spreadsheets on here. So I'm going to say insert a file and see if I have any Excel files. And we can be launching Excel while we're at it. Let's see. .ls. Oops. .ls. I'll search if I have to make one. List of expert errors. How about, there's a sample file. Let's see what's in there. All right, so this has a lot of formatting and it's multiple sheets. So let's see what happens if we insert that into Word. Think, think, think. Oh, it's an old copy. Anything you copy goes to the clipboard, and anything you paste comes from the clipboard.
So just click a copy, put it on the clipboard, even though it's not highlighted.
You have to highlight what you want to copy first. So if you have nothing highlighted and choose copy, it copies nothing and puts it on the clipboard.
Okay. And I even did the print so I could get it in preview of PDF. Thinking that PDF would say format.
PDF will say formatting, yes. But if it's a multi-page document, it can only insert one page into Word. So you have to save you have to save each of your 7 pages as 7 separate files. Probably. So I'm inserting a multi-sheet Excel file, so I can only insert one sheet at a time. Oh no, entire workbook. Let's see what it says. And I want the entire worksheet inserted. Let's see what it does. So it came in. It's got to squish it to fit on my 8-inch paper because it's apparently formatted in wide. It looks like the chart didn't come in, but the sheet did. So that was just the insert menu, insert file. It looks like it did multiple pages, though. Let me go into multi-page view. So there's one page, a blank page. There's another page. So, okay, I bet each of the sheets it put on a separate page. But it's not a multi-page single sheet file. It was a multi-sheet single page file.
So if it starts with 7 pages in Excel, and 7 pages in Word.
Yes.
I want to write down the steps.
I went to the insert command and chose insert file and picked the Excel file.
When I click insert on the top of the screen, then I click insert file.
Yep. And then pick your Excel spreadsheet from the open box. Let's try to make a long spreadsheet and see what happens. All right, so how about a 200-page or 200-row sheet? All right, 200 random numbers. That's probably more than one page. So I'm going to save. Well, actually, we can do copy and paste too. All right, so you're saying when you do copy and paste, it loses the formatting. So let me try to add some formatting here and see what happens. Oh, okay, that's text formatting. I want character formatting. All right, orange text. So if I do a select all and copy, well, select all. I just select. What did I select? I selected 1 billion cells. No, all rows and all columns. That's probably too much. So let me select those 192 columns. We'll switch back over to Word, make a new file, and paste. And the formatting stayed, and it's multiple pages. So that was a straight copy and paste. Or let's make a new file and do insert file. And on the desktop is my temp file or test file I just created. And let's see what it does. Think, think, think. So it surprises me you're having any trouble at all with this, is because you would expect Microsoft's own programs to share information between themselves perfectly. So when I insert file, I didn't get the borders. That's interesting. Let me try that again. Save. But copy and paste, I got the borders and I got the formatting. Now let's try that again now that I saved the other file. Think, think, think. I got the borders and the shading, but it missed the colors. So that's interesting. So insert missed the colors, but copy and paste got the colors. And it did cross multiple pages. So that note we found about not being able to do multiple pages apparently was only true in February 2011. So that should be Office 2011 version. Ah, no, this is Office 2010 for Windows. So I didn't see I was in the wrong section. So Office 2010 for Windows apparently can't do multiple Excel pages in Word. But Office 2011 for Mac can. So as a copy and paste, it's individually edited cells, so I can make changes to those cells. After the insertion, I'm in Word now, so I've inserted the object. I can change it. Let me see if I can change this. Yep, I can change. So I can change the pasted information in Word. If you want to not make it changeable in Word, then save it as a PDF in Excel first. Let's see if that will do a multi-page PDF the same way. Because one of the advantages is not editable by the other person. And so a lot of people will create PDFs so that people can see their document with all the formatting, and it doesn't require you to have the program they used. You can use a free PDF viewer, including Apple Preview that comes with the computer. Yep. But again, it has the fewest options when you create PDF. So I'm going to go to PDF and I'm going to save as. The only options I get are to put a password on it. If you want more control over the PDF, well, there are two passwords. You can have a password to open the document and a different password, 3 actually, a different password to copy text and a different password yet to print the document. So if you want to give someone a file they can just look at, they can't copy the data out of it, they can't print it, you can do that with the PDF option. If you have the full Acrobat program, there are more things you can do with PDF files, including edit the content of a PDF file. $400, I think, $500, something like that. Yes. I believe it is part of Creative Cloud. So if you buy the subscription, you get Acrobat also. Depends on which package you get. It's typically $20 a month for single programs or up $50 a month for all the programs. But only as an image file. So I'm trying to insert a PDF into Word and I can't. Well, let me try all readable documents. Nope. anything that reads an image file should read PDF. So insert file didn't work. How about, is there an insert graphic? How about just insert object? Ah, that may be what the Microsoft TechNote was talking about. An object can only span one page. Inserting an object is different from inserting a file. I have no idea, because it looks like it's a file. Yeah. So objects, I can do an equation, I can do an Excel, I can do a graph, I can do Word. Well, that'd be a file type. So an object is in general just a thing. That thing can be a file, it can be a picture, it can be a video, but it's a thing that is on the document. The contents of the object can vary depending on what you're inserting. And it looks like I can't insert a PDF into Word. That sort of doesn't surprise me. Well, PDF is designed to handle any type of document. So Word was not designed to import PDFs.
Isn't it? PDF is just about like a photographic image of the document, where it's not separated into formatting.
Kind of. So a PDF it's a generic file that has become a standard. Adobe published it. PDF is portable document format. So it's a format that includes all formatting and text and colors and fonts and graphics, that is all self-contained and can be read by other programs. If you actually look inside a PDF, it's mostly PostScript code. So it's the code that generates an image. And so technically PDF is an image, which is why you can't edit it normally, because it isn't text, it's a picture of the text. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it technically isn't a photo, but I'm trying this here. Ah, that worked. Insert photo lets me pick a PDF, and let's see what happens. Okay, but it can only do one page at a time. From the insert menu, the photo command, and then picture from file, lets me pick the PDF, but I can only insert one page at a time. So you'd have to make your Excel separate PDFs for each page. That you picked Photo Browser. That shows you your iPhoto library. Photo from file lets you pick a specific file. Yeah, any file on your hard drive anywhere. Good point. Can you export it as a Word file? Let's try that. So I have an Excel file here. What options do I get under Share? No. How about Save As an Excel workbook? You could see, yeah, CSV would lose all formatting. Or you could export directly as a PDF also. So it looks like Excel doesn't export in any useful format like that. So saving it as a PDF or pasting it in as text is probably the best way to get it into Word. Which? saving as a PDF or pasting the text between Excel and Word is probably the best way to get it into Word. Yeah. In addition to the audio recording, we're doing video recording too, and that will be up on site later. Well, maybe not later today, because tonight is prom. Well, my son is. I got elected to pick them all up afterwards. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, because I have a van with a lot of seats in it. Damn it. So it might be tomorrow before I get to it. Actually, the video is up there automatically on Ustream and on YouTube. I'm doing the YouTube. I'm simultaneously streaming to YouTube and Ustream right now. No. It looks, well, I'm using the iSight camera today, but it's still fairly low quality. So I'm guessing that if you want high quality, you got to pay money. So one of the problems we run into is looking at the screen. If the text is small, you're never going to see it on the video. So doing presentation, that's sort of a tip for doing presentations. Never use anything below 18 or 20 point text in order to be able to read it on the screen. So you probably can't read those numbers at all from the back row, right? Well, we've got a standard def camera. We could get another high def camera. That would record it in high def locally, but streaming it would still require the pay service to stream high def, I think. Yes, I could do that with, damn it. I could do that with CamTwist. The desktop can be a camera source. Right. Well, so that would work when I'm presenting from this computer, but not from another person. Remind me to do that next Wednesday, next month. Yeah. So the desktop can be a video source.
Well, so if you go from that little camera I see right here, if that's filming the screen, you have the problem with all this ambient light filling the screen.
Right. And you may be hearing the autofocus. I got to figure out if I can turn autofocus off. Windows, especially when I go to a white page, the auto white balance and autofocus starts jumping the picture, and so it goes into focus, out of focus, into focus, out of focus.
Well, it's set up at an angle, which is maybe causing.
That's probably part of it too. Yeah. Not in hardware, but there may be something in software.
Physically here, rather than just describe it. This is what the original document looks like. But we got that because most of the time I printed it out, it cut it.
Is this printed?
That's how it should be. This is how it should be to have everything. But most of the time when I tried to print it, I got this, and
so this text is bigger, so you have to make the text smaller to match this, probably.
Well, I'm not sure that did the trick. I also tried putting the cursor on one of the columns, and
yeah, you should be able to pick and choose which columns you want to bring over.
I wanted to do the whole thing.
So my guess is the whole thing won't fit on a Word page. So you have to make the text smaller in Word to make it fit, because this is much smaller than this text.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when I did that, put the cursor right at the border and only showing this, and I moved it over, then I was able to get this. So how do I take the truncated version and reduce it? Do I don't highlight the whole thing? And
yeah, you highlight what you want to change and pick a smaller font, or smaller font size.
Will that use for the viewing?
No, that just changes the view. That doesn't change the actual font.
So where is the
in the font menu?
Oh, okay.
So you can change the
I see.
font and you can change the size
Ah,
of the font.
and that would do it for the whole table.
It will do it for whatever you have selected.
Oh.
So select the whole table.
That's a good-
Or it might be easier to save it as a PDF
uh-huh.
and then insert it as a picture. And then you don't have to worry about changing the text size. You can just you can shrink the picture to fit the document page.
There's a picture
From as a PDF, right.
from file.
From the insert command, yeah. So insert photo picture from file. Another question?
I'm learning about, there's no mic jack in here, but I'm seeing a video that says you can use the headphone jack as a microphone jack by changing the settings.
On the newer laptops, there's only one jack on the side. In fact, on the desktops now too. On older computers, there used to be two. You had a line in and a headphone out. The new computers only have headphone out. Let me find that. So what I use is Griffin iMic. This is a USB to audio adapter. So it plugs into my USB port and gives me an in and out. So I can do an in, I can do an out. And that's how I get recording from the RPA system into the computer. The other thing is if you have an iPhone headset or similar headset that has a microphone and headphone in it, you can plug that. No, wait, that's still an out. But is it working as an in?
So far it's out. I'm looking to see, you have to change the settings.
So yeah, if you go to your system preferences under sound, you can change your input device. And does your headphone show up as an input device?
I don't know.
Yeah, external microphone.
Okay, so it's set now.
It's set now and it is using it. So if you
talk, I can say
if you unplug that, it's going to change to internal microphone. And now, plug it in, it's external microphone. So if you're doing podcasting or Skype or something like that, you can use a pair of ear pods that have a microphone built in. Typically, they come with cell phones. And that can be your microphone in, microphone out. The problem of using an ambient microphone is echo and noise. Sounds like you're on a speakerphone. I forgot my headset again. So I have a USB headset that I use that puts the microphone up by your mouth that gives you much better audio quality. So having a microphone, so the microphone is actually in the little white thing right under your chin. So that's all your audio controls for playing and pausing the music. That's where the microphone is. So it's right by your chin, so it gets really good quality.
So I can plug this into my headset, audio out on my desktop, and plug it into here, and I can shoot audio from the desktop
No,
over here.
Because that's only an out port. You have to have a special microphone to be an in port.
But it's an import now, right?
But only from your special microphone. And you'd have to build a custom headphone, a custom jack. So unplug that microphone and look at the tips. You have more tips on it. One of those extra tips is the microphone. I'm looking for your slides.
Mail with this TT, what is it?
TTRS?
Yeah.
That's
That
not what I want. I want this.
Mail. Could I do that?
Probably. Or you use a USB microphone or USB input device. No. Meeting archive. That's what I'm looking for. 2015. April. Was it April? No. Was it? There it is. So this is where all the files will be from the presentations. So you can get USB input devices. You can get adapters that will work with the audio devices you already have. So here's what Rick was saying. You get, can I do full screen here? Yeah. You get, old computers had an in and an out, although it was line in, it wasn't mic in. So that was another thing you sometimes had to adapt. And so the new computers only have one jack designed for headphones. And so you can't do input. But it does work if you use the Apple earbuds with a microphone or any of the third-party headsets designed for an iPhone that have that extra tip with a microphone built in. And then your input changes from the internal microphone to an external microphone. So now it says external microphone, which it technically is. So most headset and microphones don't have that 4-position conductor, so you need an adapter. These don't work. Rick had them lying around in his audio bin. It doesn't work because there's only 3 positions, left, right, ground. So it doesn't work. TTS, tip, tip, sleeve. If you wanna know what the letters mean. Shield, is it? I heard a sleeve too. Yeah. So this has 4 positions. Tip, 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 shield. And so you need to find an adapter that can do tip, 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 shield. And fortunately, Rick found one on Amazon for $6. There's a slightly better one. So now this is designed for headsets that have separate mic and headphone jacks. So that's so one of these is mic, one of these is headphone. So it basically takes those 2 jacks that are designed for PCs or for Macs that used to have mic in and headphone in, and gives you a single connector that works on the new computers. There are also so this one from StarTech, rather than an actual cable. I bet there's a circuit in there that's working out impedance and power draw and stuff, so you get a better quality connection off of it to do a standard headphone and a standard microphone. So if you have an 1/8" standard microphone jack, you can use that. And so you plug your mic and your headphone in, and now what's really nice is this lets you use a cheap PC headset in order to, well, you can get Apple earbuds for $30. That's pretty cheap too. Yeah. A lot of people like the over the ear instead of in the ear. And that one is $8. If you're using an XLR connector, there are adapters for that. There are also, there's probably no napkins in this room, is there? Is there a Kleenex over there? My drink is sweaty. There are USB to XLR adapters as well.
I got some.
Oh, do you? So if you're using oh, thank you. Do you have actually a napkin or?
No, but I'm going to be throwing this away anyway.
Thank you. I'll lay that down to help catch up. Thanks. So if you're using a professional XLR style, you can do that with the 1/4" jack, $30. And if you buy anything on Amazon, in fact, in general, if you buy anything in Amazon, use our Apple CIDER link. So on the CIDER webpage, there's a shopping link, and under shopping is Amazon. In fact, if you want, drag that up into your bookmark bar. And then whenever you go to Amazon, click on the Amazon link, and Apple CIDER gets a referral fee for everything you buy. There's also, so that lets you connect into the 1/8" jack. But if you want a little better quality, you can do USB audio. The Griffin iMic was the standard for a very long time, but it's not available anymore. But StarTech also makes a USB to audio. And then Blue So that's audio at one end and USB at the other. The Blue who make a lot of microphones. Is it the Icicle? The Blue Icicle is a USB to XLR adapter. Yep. So if you're using more professional mics with the bigger XLR connector, you can go USB into your computer as well. So a lot of the podcasters have figured out how to do all this over the years, trying to get the best quality audio they can into their computer to do the recording, to put out a more professional sounding podcast on the internet. Blue actually has a couple of really neat microphones. Oh, they do headphones too. They have the Yeti, what's the other though? Snowball. Snowball's a neat one. It's a big ball, and it has microphones all around the ball. So you can put the ball in the center of a table, and there's microphones pointing each direction, so you can pick up the audio of everyone talking. So audio and video in. So that's sort of the first step of streaming. That goes back to streaming. You got to get audio and video into your computer so you can stream it out somewhere. And in the early days of podcasting, just using your built-in webcam and the microphone in your computer was perfectly fine. But now we're seeing, for just a few $100s in hardware, you can get really professional, high-quality video. And I think CIDER may need to buy a HD cam. But the problem there, even if we have an HD cam, getting HD streaming service can be expensive. So we have to figure out that side of the coin too. So which is why I really want to look into YouTube and figure out how that's going to work. I got to go through what all these buttons do. One of the things that YouTube lets you do is it's a service from Google called Hangouts, and you can have you plus 9 other people having their own little video window down there. So it's really great for video conferencing in the same aspect that Skype is too. You can have multiple people together in a single video conference with their own cameras. Rick. Use the Tech Age class. Joel Elias 21. Yeah. ELIAS, right? Oh, there's a famous American educator, Joel Elias. Joel Elias Springham. Joel Elias at San Francisco University. Google your own name and you find up some weird things sometime. There we go. Should we let's send Joel a picture of that. He's a jail inmate that escaped named Joel Elias. Yeah, that's what's really weird. Yep.
That's what it was in for.
So let's put Rochester in and see.
No, it was in for theater-related.
There he is.
Time.
So here's his LinkedIn profile. Now, if you have the name of a famous person, it's awful hard to find yourself. There's a famous actor named Stephen Ray, so it takes me several pages before I get to me and not him. I get email from him all the time, thanking me for a movie I just did or a speaking engagement I just did, that he just did.
Did you say it was 28 or 22?
21. Another question?
When you have a photograph that you put in Word, you click on it, and then you can put it either in the left margin, the right margin, or the center. Is there a way you can use any intermediate spots?
You can align pictures in Word. Let me insert one here. The automatic alignment is left, center, or right. If you want to do somewhere else, it's a little bit trickier. How about a picture of our cake?
click on the left side and then space, space, space?
Yeah, basically that's what you do. So you would left align it. And actually, no, well, is this a free floating? No, it's not. So one way is to make it free floating, one way is to make it inline. So right now it's inline. So if I put some spaces before or spaces after, you can sort of align it. There is a way to make a free floating graphic that you can position anywhere on the page you want. And I just have to find how to do that. So that's rotate. You can size the graphic from the size panel, or from any of the handles, you can size it. So this left, center, or right, but somewhere is a free floating option. There we go. So in the wrap text, if I do I have to pick how I want it wrapped. No, that's just wrapping. That's not what I wanted. Yeah. That's if you have text around the picture. If I move it over, yeah, so now I have a free floating picture. I can move it anywhere I want on the page. Yeah, by turning the inline off. So by default, your picture acts like a single character of text on the line. And so if you put text in front of it, it moves along just like it would if it was a single text character. So by turning wrapping on, which means you're going to wrap text around the graphic, you can then make the graphic free floating anywhere on the page. And in fact, I've turned wrapping off completely. So in my text wrap option, I have no wrapping. So now the text and the graphic overlay each other. Let me get down here at the bottom so you can see that better. So wrapping is set to none, and the text and the graph overlay each other. I can do different wrapping functions, which will wrap the text around the graphic. Let me try to get some more text here so we have more text to highlight. So now the text is on the top and the bottom of the graphic. And I can go to wrap text and make it a tight. Yeah, I turn the wrap function on and I'm telling it how I want it wrapped. Correct. It makes the text wrap around the graphic. The text will reformat and flow around the graphic. This is frequently done in page layout programs like InDesign or PageMaker before it, or Pages can do it also. But it's one of the sort of the hidden features in Word that you can still wrap text around a graphic. But if I make it inline, now the text is, or the graphic is part of the text, and the only way to move the graphic is to type in front of it, because it's acting as a single specific character on the page.
And it doesn't allow, in this case, text on the blank space to the left of you.
Right, because the text is not wrapping, the graphic is counted as a character. So if I want to go back, let me call it square. Now the text will wrap squarely around the graphic. I bet if I make it smaller, I can get it on all four sides. No, maybe not. No, it's not letting me do all four sides. It will do 3 sides, but not 4 sides. And Pages will do 4 sides, I think. I've chose the wrapping type. So I'm wrapping the text around the graphic.
Okay, well, earlier when you did that, it did not go on the side.
It didn't fit. So I have to move the graphic to make it fit. I wonder if it's because I have such a long word there. Typed too much. Oops, typed too much without spaces. No, highlight. Don't highlight the text or the graphic, you. There we are, copy. Now I've got smaller words. Yeah, now it does all 4 sides. So my words were too long, it wouldn't fit on all 4 sides of the graphic. If I make the graphic bigger, it'll probably gonna start doing the same thing. Yeah. So now it doesn't fit again, so it makes it bigger. Oh, I didn't know it was crooked. So let me go to the rotate button and rotate it. There we are. Actually, that was now my text is straight, but my my mug is crooked. So some of the more, so, oh, that's there we go. There's a position button. You can see the wrapping from the position button. You can see the wrapping graphically on how you want the text to wrap.
So when you have it rotated 90 degrees, then it's neither half full nor half empty.
Yeah.
Works out.
If I rotate it 45 degrees.
Better than half full.
Yeah.
How do you access the position?
With the graphic highlighted, your toolbar is to format the picture. So one of the things in Word is that it changes all of your buttons depending on the mode you're in. So right now I put my cursor in the text, and I have text buttons, changing the text, changing the size, changing the spacing. If I select the graphic, it is now changed to the graphic button. And I have different buttons depending on what I have selected. It's one of the fixes Microsoft did to the complaint that there were too many toolbars. One of the jokes is that if you turn all the toolbars on to see all the buttons, there's no space left to actually type anything. So now they're contextual buttons. So if you're in text, you get one set of buttons. If you're in graphics, you get a different set of buttons.
To answer your eyesight question, no manual focus. You get eyeglasses, which is a software thing. One person suggested for brightness, to get rid of all brightness, you can just take a piece of black electrical tape, put over the sensor on the thing.
Yeah, where is the sensor? Probably in one of these vent holes. The Apple EyeSight camera was an interesting thing when Apple brought it out. It was a way to get video into your computer. It was novel at the time, but there was no one else to talk to. So we ended up selling 2 of them pretty much. Every time there was a sale, someone bought 2 so they'd have someone to talk to.
This image you got on the screen, suppose you want to have the text go parallel to the sides of the compass. The only way to do that is the text is that they have uneven font sizes.
Well, you want it to go square?
Well, yeah, but you rotate it.
Yeah. So if I wrap it, it's going to follow the edge of the edge of the graphic.
But when you show the direct edge, it's not parallel to the edge of the graphic.
It was as parallel as it can be.
And is that because exactly, and if you were to try to get exactly parallel, then
You're going to have to adjust the length of your words.
either change your font size or you got that icon that you have where you can have justification both.
You can edit the wrap boundary. That might help. Yeah, oh yeah. So it did a jaggy boundary. So I can edit the boundary and change it.
And what was the command?
Edit wrap boundary. So I'm gonna have it straighter on one side or jaggier on the other. It's interesting that it made a jaggy boundary on top and a straight boundary on the bottom. It's trying to be too smart.
It's got quite a variety of boundaries.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, you know, where you adjust your text, drag right, drag left. There's one that you can adjust equally. Picture just went away, but you know what the little boxes I'm talking about?
The wrap boundary?
Okay. The tools across the top changed about 3 clicks ago.
Tools.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Okay. Right above your cursor, there's
That's
several boxes.
the text alignment, yeah.
Does that make any difference?
That will align the text, but not the graphic.
Okay, yeah.
So the graphic is free-flowing. It does not change with the text. And even with these few buttons, it still takes up a lot of the space of the window. That's why Apple is pushing these full screen modes so much. So you go full screen, and I just got an inch back because it's hiding the menu bar and hiding the dock. All right, another question?
The issue you were just talking about the overlay of graphic onto text. When I want to print out the Democrat Chronicle article, often there's going to be an overlay of links at the end of the article that will be overlaid on the text of the article. Is there a way to get them on there?
The big problem is websites don't print well. And so usually the idea is accept it the way it is or don't print a website. Many times a website will have a print button somewhere.
It still has this problem. The Democrat Chronicle will go to that left line, that left sidebar, and way down the bottom.
There's a print, yeah.
But that's the same identical function as if you click file then print.
Yeah, so it's printing the website. Websites are not designed to be printed, they're designed to be looked at on screen.
And the only way I can read text of this overlay is first print in portrait format and then landscape format.
One of the issues is that your screen is wider than an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So it can't fit on a piece of paper the same way it's laid out on screen. So oftentimes if you print it in landscape, that helps. But the only real way to do it is to have the other end make a separate printed version. And many times that print button will do a separate print version instead of just printing the actual website itself. Yeah. Well, that's why they don't do it, because they don't want to eliminate all the ads. The point of a newspaper is to sell ads. It has nothing to do with the news. Yeah, so when you print it, they want you to see the ads too.
But I also will normally print the Democrat Chronicle article in landscape format. Text is large. And New York Times, I can enlarge the font. And it works better that way.
Yep. And most of that is because it's not designed to be printed. It's designed to be viewed on a web page.
And there's no way that I'm aware of, and if you are, that's how I can get the Democrat Chronicle article with larger print, larger font in the portrait format.
Well, sometimes it's a workaround to a screenshot.
You can take the screenshot and enlarge it, and it's still there.
Yeah, so here at Messenger Post, their print button gives you a separate basically it's a completely separate web page that they built at the other end so you can print it easier. And I can make the text bigger and print it. But that's the other end, it did that for you.
Yeah.
You have to change the code at Democrat and Chronicle to make that happen. You can change the font size on any web page. Use the view larger command, or zoom in.
Just command plus.
Yeah, command plus and command minus, zoom in and zoom out. It'll print just the way it looks on screen. So if the text is larger on the screen, it will print larger. So we can print it really big. So now it's really big and will take too many pages. Yeah, that is the Democrat and Chronicle. I did. I went back to DNC. You can also change your print scaling, so I can print it at 150%, and now it's 8 pages long. Yeah. I see that a lot with New York Times. Is their on-screen on-screen font is very small. Their printed font is very small too. Well, command plus and command minus are the zoom in and zoom out, and that's usually in the excuse me, in the view menu. The view menu, or the command keys. Well, those are the two ways to zoom in and out on the page. Rick? Yeah. So for every menu command, there's a keyboard, not every, but most menu commands there's a keyboard equivalent. So the zoom in is command plus, and the zoom out is command minus.
But then, like a MacBook Pro, you got to hold shift down to get the plus.
Not always. On mine, I'm actually doing command equals, because equals is the lower function. You should have to do plus to get the plus. Yeah, you should have to hit the shift key to get the plus, but apparently it knows command equals doesn't make any sense now. He probably meant command plus. Rick.
Have you ever tried to connect a FileMaker database to an ODBC data source?
Yes, I have tried to connect FileMaker to ODBC. After much, it worked after much gnawing and gnashing of teeth and calls to tech support. The company that made the ODBC program we were tying into, and we finally got it to work. So ODBC is an internet standard for open database connectivity that's supposed to allow different databases to talk to each other. So Microsoft Access or Foxbase or Fourth Dimension or FileMaker, they all have their own internal formats. But using ODBC, you can link them together through an ODBC server in the middle. Theoretically.
Well, I was trying to use the FileMaker connection.
Yeah, FileMaker has an ODBC connection.
And what it's telling me when it tries to connect to the FileMaker database is, oh, this database is already being shared with another user.
You might have FileMaker's internal web sharing turned on.
I can't even find where that is in FileMaker Advanced 13.
It's in the file menu, I think. Let me open. I've got FileMaker Advanced. I don't know what version it is. We'll see what gets open first. So FileMaker is one of the best database solutions out there because it works on Mac, it works on Windows, and it works on iOS. And do they have an Android version too? They might. I don't know. So the same file hosted on either Mac or PC or Mac or Windows. You can have Mac clients, you can have Windows clients, you can have iOS clients, and it just works. So you design it, well, you probably design it for different size screens, but you make one database and it works on all these platforms. So what's really nice is it's very easy to write. It's very easy to maintain. Microsoft Access tends to be the 800-pound gorilla in the Windows world. And it's very difficult to use, very difficult to change. So when you have someone write an Access database for you, if you want to make a change, you got to hire them back to make the change. What we often find ourselves is we write a FileMaker database for someone, they don't need to hire us back to make changes. So that may be a bad thing. But one of the features built into FileMaker is sharing. And so you can share your database on your local network and have other people with FileMaker log into it. And what's really neat recently is FileMaker for iPad is now free. Used to be $50. Now it's completely free. So all you have to do is buy the $300 FileMaker Pro for computer. Or if you're doing more advanced functions, you may want FileMaker Advanced. So you buy one copy of FileMaker to host it on one computer, and all your iPads and iPhones can log in for free. See you, man. There's also web publishing. So you can publish your document, your FileMaker database as a web page, and then anybody with a web browser can look at your FileMaker document. And then there's the ODBC JDBC. So you may have to go into your FileMaker network sharing and turn that network sharing off first. Make sure instant web publishing is off also. One of the things that FileMaker does is every time they come out with a new version, just like pretty much every program, everything changes.
Yeah.
And who knows where everything got moved to. So I just turned FileMaker web sharing on. So if I go to this computer, I have FileMaker instant web sharing. So you can have other people access your FileMaker database without them needing to buy FileMaker, which is handy. So let's see.
It's like if I could just connect to it, I could move everything.
You don't have too much to left to lose over that, yeah.
It's almost gone.
So I just turned ODBC sharing on, and I didn't get an error. So ODBC is on. So then now the other end has to be able to see in with ODBC. But I've got no. We want to share information with other programs on other platforms. We're not being isolationists here. We want to share files. Let me turn this off again. In this case, I don't want to share that file. What version is this? This is 11.
14 just came out.
Really? I thought 13 just came out. They're on that annual cycle again. Every year there's a new version. Well, see, the problem with software publishers is they make a program and everyone buys it. And then they don't have any more money coming in. So they have to make an update with reasons to make people buy it again. So they keep getting money coming in. So a lot of companies, and I'm expecting FileMaker to do this too, Microsoft and Adobe have both started doing annual subscription licenses. So instead of paying hundreds of dollars once, and then next year you buy the new version for $300, and the next year you buy the new version for $300. Right, people will skip versions because it's $300. So Microsoft has done this thing where it's $100 a year. You get 5 computers and 5 tablets. So that's 10 devices for $100 a year. That's a really pretty good deal. And then Adobe has done the same thing with their Creative Cloud. $20 a month, you can run any program. In fact, they have a special deal running where you get Photoshop and Lightroom for $10 a month. And that tends to be the two of the most common programs that photographers use. Photoshop normally is $600, actually $699. So $700 divided by $10 a month, that's a lot of months. And so when we figured this out, the Adobe Creative Suite is usually between $1,000 and $3,000 depending on which suite you get. So $50 a month times 2 years is how often Adobe came out with new versions for $1,000. So they now have a steady source of income, and for the end users, it's $50 a month instead of $2,000 every 2 years, and that is a lot more palatable to people, especially creative types who can bill their customers back for that part of the service. So part of the fee for designing this for you is my creative subscription that I need to buy. Yeah. Yeah, so one of the things developers have done is started creating web applications. So instead of writing your program to run on Mac OS or Windows OS, they'll design it to run on the web, HTML5, JavaScript, different web languages. The advantage there is that anybody on any platform can run that same program. The problem becomes every browser is a little bit different. And so you design your web app to run on, say, Firefox, and it runs a little different on Chrome, and a little different on Safari, and a little different on Internet Explorer, because no one adheres to the standards the same way. The wonderful thing about standards is there's so many of them to choose from. So when you're writing a web app, you have a decision of saying, this works best in Internet Explorer, period. Which has sort of been the way it's been done in a lot of years, because Windows and Internet Explorer was such a common platform. That's the way a lot of developers just did it. And so if you don't have Windows and Internet Explorer, then you don't see our website. Well, then when Firefox got to be so popular, web designers realized that there were other platforms. So they started making their code a little more generic. So now most programs, most web programs, and basically when you look at a website, it's pretty much a program these days. It's very, very rarely just static text. That web program will run on any browser, on any OS, on any platform. And that's becoming sort of the great equalizer, we've called it, of all the different platforms. But it does make developing a little trickier, because you have to make it work right on every platform. Yep.
I have Time Warner Turbo, and I kind of got a lot of time. Is that why I frequently get the pinwheel that slows down my opening?
Yeah, the rainball, beach ball, or pinball, pinwheel. Yep. Some people call it the spinning beach ball of death. Basically, that means, wait, I'm busy doing something. Sometimes the computer is so busy doing something it never gets back to you. But you can look at what it's busy doing before it's too busy. If you go to your applications folder, and then in applications is the utilities folder, there is a program called Activity Monitor. So now I'm getting the little spinny gear down here that says, wait, I'm doing something. So that's sort of become the new cursor. You get that little spinny gear before you get the beach ball. So the little spinny gear means I'm busy, but I'll be back. The beach ball means I'm really busy. I may not be back. Excuse me. So Activity Monitor will show you all the things your computer's doing. And one of the things that surprises people is how many things it's doing when it's not doing anything. Right now, I have 1,700 threads all executing code coming from 330 processes running on the computer. And so I've got the CPU tab loaded here. So it's showing me how hard my CPU is working. And I've got it sorted by the program using the most CPU power. Right now, it's Flash because I'm streaming Ustream, and it's Google because I'm streaming YouTube. So they are both using a lot of CPU power. So what can happen is you can get too many programs running, and so each program slows down a little bit, or you can have a runaway program. where it's trying to do something and something went wrong and it never comes back. In that case, you'll often see not responding in red. And so what you can do is quit that program. There's a quit button in the activity monitor, or in the Apple menu, there is a force quit command. And you can force a stuck program to quit. And that may get you back to the rest of the computer by crashing just that one program.
I thought it was only for more general quits, like quit Word.
Yeah. It'll quit Word, and then you get back to the other programs will start running again.
Okay, I thought you meant quit the tab other than just clicking the X.
No, in Safari is a special case because you often have multiple web pages open in different tabs. Each tab can run in its own space. So right now with my Flash is running in its own process space. So I could quit Flash, but the rest of Safari would keep running. In fact, if I look down this list, Safari itself is probably fairly low on the list. In fact, let me search for Safari.
Every so often I'll get the notification if I want to open
Yep, there we are.
tab, I have to force reload 32 pages, 32 tabs.
Yeah, one of the tabs went nuts and can't load, and so it has to reload it. And sometimes that reloads all the tabs. So right now I'm getting a bunch of Safari web contact not responding. That generally means there's some video running on a website that isn't working right. And I have a lot of websites open, I have a lot of tabs open, and what you typically see is every website has a lot of ads on it, and each of the ads is trying to run a video, and so this is very common that all of these contents won't respond properly.
So that block stops that from happening.
Well, ad block will stop the ads from playing, yeah. So that can help too. There's also, if you don't want to block all the ads, there's a program called Click to Flash that will load the ad but won't play the Flash video until you actually click on it. So that's often a little better because web pages earn their money by displaying ads. So in most cases, you go to a web page for free. You can read what's on the web page for free because the ads are paying for the page. And if too many people block ads, then web pages have to find another way to pay. So DNC has done, a lot of newspapers have done that. You have to pay a subscription to see more than 5 or 10 articles a month. So Click to Flash is a little better in that respect because the ad still displays, but it doesn't actually play the video. So the advertiser is going to get their money, and if you want to see the ad, you can make it play. Now, because I do a lot of Flash streaming with YouTube, I have to leave Flash on. Some people as remove Flash from their computer because Flash tends to cause problems. It's very processor and memory intensive. It crashes a lot. There's a lot of security vulnerabilities because it crashes a lot. So Adobe tends to update it 3 or 4 times a month. In fact, sometimes a couple of times a week. And because the bad guys know that people are used to installing Flash updates, bad guys have put out fake Flash updates saying your Flash needs to be updated. You go, oh God, not again, and install. And it's a fake program that installs bad stuff in your computer.
Well, the good stuff automatically installs?
No, the good stuff says it needs to be installed too. So the problem is knowing what's the good stuff from the bad stuff. And one of the, actually I got a bunch of them on the desktop now. One of the things you can do is when you look at the text of a message. So first of all, don't panic and don't immediately assume something. So a lot of times you'll see messages like this. So the fake virus messages are the latest rage. For a while it was fake Flash messages. For a while before that, do I have one? No. For a while before that, it was, actually this one might be one. No, I had one from the FBI, Homeland Security, and it looks official because you can go to the FBI webpage and copy their logo. So the bad guy puts it on the webpage. So the latest one are fake viruses, and so you get these messages. They're big and scary and trying to warn you, and you better call this number to remove everything. Oftentimes you can tell it's fake by the grammar, because they're often not native English speakers, so it's got bad grammar, or in this case, all caps, every word in the sentence is highlighted or is capitalized. So that's a pretty good clue that it's not real. Microsoft detected security error, so it's bad grammar, and we're on an Apple, we're not on Microsoft, so there's a big clue. And so a lot of these fake messages are very, very common now, and it basically comes as an ad. So you go to a website, and the good guys have bought an ad for diapers, they bought an ad for tires, they bought an ad for cars. The bad guy bought an ad that says you're infected with a virus. And so they target popular websites. You know, Facebook gets hit all the time. We had one of our customers got hit from Walmart. And in the hour, half hour, whatever that ad is on the page, millions of people could see it before their security people find it and take it off the page. So what happens is these messages scare you. So we sometimes call them scareware. They scare you into calling the number, toll free, high priority call line. Yes, good. So I get priority. Okay. And then at the other end, they know the buzzwords. They know how to scare you. They say oftentimes they'll tell you to look for this file name, and that means somebody is hacking your computer. Yes, they are. And they will offer to clean your system, and they'll offer to remotely connect to your computer and clean your system. And we see $300 being the typical price, which is a lot. I've always thought if they charge less, they might get more. So for $300, a lot of people say, no, I'll take it to my local shop. But they remote control into your computer to fix the problem that doesn't exist. They can look around your files. A lot of people have a file called passwords. Or they will ask you, we better check your Amazon account. And so they'll ask you to log into Amazon and watch you type your password. If they open the keychain file, yes. But you would see them doing that. So they'll come up and say, oh, we have to look at your keychain to make sure there's no bad passwords in there. And so the bad guys, we think a lot of these people are real tech support people or former tech support people because they know the lingo, they know the words, they know how to scare people. And they trick enough people to make it worthwhile. You know, one person a week, $300. You know, one person a day, make $300 a day. Sure. Yeah, they can implant more things in your computer. Come back later when they want to. They can watch you buy stuff. We've had this happen to our customers. Every time she bought something on Amazon, 2 of them got ordered because the bad guy was watching her and ordered one for himself. Now, you might not catch that soon because it's the same thing you just ordered. So you get an email from Amazon, thanks for ordering this widget. And a few minutes later, oh, thanks for ordering this widget. Okay. Indirectly. By going to the website, the ad opens. And it can install programs, but usually it will ask for your password to install a program. So there's sneaky programs. There's one called Genio that claims to give you a newspaper-style homepage. And people say, oh, that's neat. And so they install it without realizing the point of a newspaper is to sell ads. So you install Genio, you get more ads on your websites. And we think there's enough ads already and we're bothered by the ads. Well, imagine getting more and more and more. And by getting more ads, you're more likely to get a bad or fake ad. So you don't even have to click anything. You just go to a website, the ad is displayed, and the code runs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Facebook instituted a feature that we all hate. Movies automatically start playing all by themselves, which means the bad guy can put a movie that plays all by itself and can infect you. It may not be a movie, it may be an animated GIF or an animated code that has code behind it. Yep. As soon as it starts playing, code has been run. And it could be good code, it could be bad code. So there is a way to turn that off. I don't remember offhand, but you can Google turn off Facebook autoplay and it will turn off the auto video play. Yeah. Well, most websites are moving away from Flash and going to HTML5. So quite often you can uninstall Flash and still get to most of the videos you want to see. But back to the fake viruses, so that they'll take your credit card information. And what we're seeing is that some of the companies are now asking for checking account information. And we think that's because it's so easy to dispute a credit card. It's much, much harder for you to dispute a checking transaction. And so when the credit card transaction is disputed, you get your money back. And the vendor that accepted the money loses it. So we've had that happen at our store. Someone buys something with a stolen credit card. We lose the money. The credit card company reaches into our machine and takes the money back. So we're out the thing and we're out the money. So it's much easier for the bad guy to get your checking account information because it's much harder for you to dispute it, and then it's much harder for them to lose that money back. So it's a big scary world out there, and you got to make sure the fake messages don't trick you, and the real messages inform you. So you especially if you get a fake virus message, you get a virus message and you're not running in any virus program, that's a good bet that it's a fake message, because the program you're running would tell you and would have the name of the program. So I run a program, an antivirus program called Sophos. So when I do get a virus alert, it comes from Sophos and it has the Sophos icon on it. Sophos. Oh, that was Creative Cloud. No, it's a British company. There's also Avast, and they have a nice lady that comes on and says your antivirus has been updated, which is a little scary at 2 in the morning when your computer updates itself. But well, fortunately, there are no Mac viruses. But what I get notice of all the time are Windows viruses that come through email and come from websites. They can't affect my Mac, but if I would forward that message onto a Windows user, they would get infected. So here's a bunch of them that have been found recently. Ooh, May 9th, so just a little while ago, I got, and it came in from my mail. Okay, that was in the Google spam folder. So Google's pretty good about finding spam before it sends it on. But it's very tricky these days to realize what's new. What's real and what's fake. So reading the grammar, looking at the actual. If it says Microsoft and you're running Mac, that's a good thing. On my iPad, I'll get things that say Windows has detected security flaw, but I'm on an iPad. I'm not even running. I'm not running a computer. But it's just an ad. It's a picture, and it doesn't matter what you're on. You still get it.
Second issue, before I upgraded to Time-Warner Turbo, it was a constant problem, and upgrading to Turbo substantially solved it. Would it be solved even better if there's a further upgrade?
So if your problem is web pages are not responding fast enough, getting faster internet will make those pages respond faster. Yeah, but if the problem is not the website itself, then it won't help any. So go looking in your process list and seeing if it's Safari that's having trouble loading, then that's a good indication that it is from the website. In Activity Monitor. Alrighty, so that's it for today. Would like to invite you all to come back to the next Apple Cider meeting next month. Where's my calendar? June 10th is our main meeting. So June 13th will be our final meeting here for the summer. We don't meet July and August. So if you want to come back here again, it'll be June 13th. And if you have questions in the meantime, you can go to the Apple Cider forums. So on our website, we have a forum list where you can ask questions. And then also Saturdays at 12 to 2 is Soundbites radio show that I do. And you can call in with more questions there. No.
This is Rick Harrison.
Oh, Rick. On GarageBand. So we're gonna. So that's why you know all about the audio, because you're trying to make music. All right. So thank you all for coming, and we'll pack up.
I have questions about an older Mac. Could you recommend somebody I could take it to give me a hand?
Sure. Yeah, we do that in our store.
Who's we?
On my third hat. So I've got the CIDER hat, I've got the Soundbites hat, and I've got Mac Ave. So we're a full service Apple reseller, and we do sales and service and training.
Mm-hmm. And you're only in Victor.
Right.
Mm. It's quite a drive for me. I'm on the west side of Rochester, so it'd be like a 40-minute drive.
Well, Rick is in Penfield. Penfield/Webster. Everyone says Baytown Plaza is Webster, but it's actually Penfield. Chrissy's still downtown, isn't she?
Yeah.
Chrissy Cormack. Chrissy McCormick at Cormac. She's on Liberty Pole downtown. Dave is doing Subway now, but I think John is still doing Mac Shack. He's in Penfield on 5 Mile Line Road. I don't know of anybody on the west side. It was always Irwin was the west side.
I'm not able to put a CD in it to copy it. It just won't go.
Bad CD drive by no one.
Yeah, is there something stuck in there?
I don't know.
Good chance.
Yeah, it's a good chance it could be something stuck in there.
I
Turn
brought
it-
it. Could you show me what I should do?
Well, we have to leave now. But while we're packing up, why don't you give her a hand, Bob?
Started off with, so when I looked at